for me, success is definitely personal. I want to see what I'm capable of doing.
Today I went to the pool for the first time in 3 months, and it's something that I really like to incorporate into my training. One, because the compression of the water helps my muscles recover. I just feel better when I get out. But two, I like it because it's like a very non-impact cross-training component that I can add that I feel like doesn't fatigue my legs or fatigue my body. In fact, it does the opposite, and it kind of gives me like a little boost and helps me feel stronger in my runs. It helps me feel more recovered. It helps me like shake out after a harder run. And when it's been so hot, I love to be able to get in the pool because it just cools my body temperature down. So there's lots of different reasons. I mentally don't love the pool. I don't love swimming. I don't love having my face in the water. I honestly prefer to aqua jog, but I don't feel like I get the same effect or the same benefit. And so what I do is I try and do something that's like really a manageable amount of time. So today I swam for 25 minutes. I don't try to go like super hard. I don't do a workout. I'm not like, oh, I'm all in. Like I'm gonna go 100% and get as much out of this as possible. It's much more of like, I'm gonna work, but like, I don't want to hate it, and I also don't want to overly fatigue, because running is what's most important in my training. Running is what's going to make me a faster runner. And so cross training is a great supplement. Cross training can, when used right, can really support the running training. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, because there's so many different things out there about cross training, and it's really like unique to the individual. Like everyone's a little bit different when it comes to what they have access to, what they have time for. And I also want to talk a little bit about like how cross training, I think in the past, has been detrimental to me. So let's kind of focus on those topics. First off, you know, there's lots of different forms of cross training. I have clients that go on hikes, and I consider that cross training because you're moving your body, it's working, it's gonna be fatigued from that. So most likely like that's going to impact your running training during that week. So there's like different things like that, but then there's also like the more traditional type of cross training, like the bike, the elliptical or elliptigo, swimming, aqua jogging, you know, different cardio machines that you might use at the gym. And so for me, I have a spin bike, I have a regular bike I can go outside, I have an elliptigo that I have set up on the trainer in my gym, but I can also take that outside if I want to. And then I have access to the pool at the gym. And so in the past, like I have done hours and hours a week of cross training. And so a lot of it's been for me like trying to figure out this balance of like, what is the reason behind my cross training? And I think it's really important in all training to always have a reason. Why am I doing what I'm doing today? And if you can answer it and it makes sense and it's supporting your goals for your whatever training build you're in at that time, then it's awesome. And that's great. And it can be very positive. And so when I was training for the Houston Marathon in 2020, I was doing 1 day a week on the bike. And so instead of running, I would do a 30 to 60 minute spin on the bike instead. And so I was reducing pounding one day out of the week. Typically I would do that on Sundays. So I would do my long run Saturday, and then because I knew I was going to be most fatigued on Sunday from the long run and the week's worth of miles, then I would do my spinning on Sunday. And so that seemed to make a lot of sense, and I would kind of just like feel it out. I would go as hard as felt appropriate. Sometimes my heart rate would only be in like the 120s, and sometimes I get it into like the 140s, 150s. So it really just depended on how I was feeling, how hard I ran, what my mileage was like, and what the goal was for that day. Like if I was trying to just shake out my legs, if I was trying just to, feel mentally like, okay, I did something, so now I can like have that routine and then move on with my day. And I've also always given myself that option of like, if I don't feel good, I'm just gonna take an off day. And so, I mean, like I've been able to take off days since having my kid. Prior to that, I definitely like struggled with off days. Like to me, an off day and a rest day was like counterproductive. I was like, I'm not working for my goals. And so that's something that I have seen with some athletes that I've coached, some friends that I've had, and myself personally, where sometimes cross training becomes more of a obsessive compulsive thing where it's like, okay, I ran this morning and then I went to the gym and I lifted and then I came home and I had lunch and now I need to go do something else again. And so if I'm not going to run again, then I can spin or I can elliptical or I can swim, whatever it might be. And sometimes that was great, and sometimes it did work out, and it was part of my plan. It was part of the workload and the stress load that I was trying to put on my body for training. But I think there were also times where I would have fared better just resting in the afternoon, just giving myself time to sit down and relax or lay down and maybe take a nap if I needed one. And so I think that it's really important with cross training to, one, know your body, know how many days a week you respond to running, how many days a week you need off or to kind of unload, but still want some kind of aerobic work like a cross training type element. Some people really enjoy spin classes like Peloton because of the group culture, and that's awesome and that works great. And so I have started to shift my mindset from like, I have to do, 2 workouts a day. Like in the morning I run, and then in the evening I'm either running or cross training, and that's my option. Instead, I've changed my mindset to actually it's probably more in my best interest to rest, and maybe once or twice a week, depending on how I feel, I can benefit from some sort of light aerobic stimulus. And so for me, that's the pool right now. My hips have felt weird on the bike, and I've had a lot of like hip flexor tightness after having Athens. And so I've been actually kind of staying off the bike recently because I was noticing that the spinning motion, where I was pulling up with my hip flexors, each circle was actually irritating my body, and therefore I wasn't recovering, and it was impacting my ability to run strong. So I kind of shifted away from that. And now I like to focus on things that are more on the recovery spectrum. So things like sitting in the Normatec boots or foam rolling or stretching or doing a little bit of yoga. And so this was the first time I incorporated the pool for a long time, but it felt right, and it was supporting my training, and it was supporting the goal of the day, which is tomorrow. When I'm recording this, it's my long run tomorrow, and so I ran shorter this morning, and then I swam, and then that way, like aerobically, I got the whole amount of time that I wanted to get in, but it wasn't too much pounding, and then it helps kind of freshen up my body, and helps my muscles feel ready and good to go for my long run tomorrow. So definitely ask yourself, is what I'm doing supporting my running goals? Is there a reason behind the cross training that I'm doing, the method of cross training that I'm using, whether it's the bike, elliptical, pool, whatever? So why am I doing it? Is it supporting my training? And then also, am I mentally okay with it? Because if you are dreading it and you're hating it and it's miserable and it's not fun, then it's probably not a good idea to do, because that's going to be a recipe for burnout. And that's the last thing you want to do. Like, if you are really enjoying running, but you're not really enjoying getting on the bike, then probably not a good idea to force yourself on the bike day after day after day. Maybe try to do the bike once or twice a week instead. If you were, trying to force something every day. So find ways to make it healthy and to make it something that is supportive of the training that you're doing. So I get asked a lot about cross training, and there's no right answer because every person is so unique. I have some clients who really love biking and they'll do, 2 or 3 hour rides once a week because they enjoy it and it's fun for them. And then I have other clients that are like, yeah, I don't even really like a 5-minute core workout. To me, that's not even fun. So I don't want to do anything else. So it's really important to find what works for you, what is supporting the training that you're doing, and what you enjoy doing. So I hope this helps, and feel free to ask any specific questions in the comments or DM me at Neely S. Gracie on Instagram, and I'm happy to get back to you. Please keep the feedback coming. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Your responses mean a lot to me, so I really appreciate that. So let's get after it. I'm excited to crush my long run tomorrow, and I'm excited to have been back in the pool today. I look forward to getting in the pool more often and making that part of my routine because it makes my body feel good and it supports the training that I'm doing. All right, cheers. Get running this week, and remember to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful. I'll see you later.